So we're back. We're out for hours, but we're back. It's around 5 o'clock right now. I'd say we got back to the house around 3:40ish, maybe. My mother ended up getting a whole flat of vegetables, and so I'm going to show you what she got. She did, I believe, find the habaneros. She was looking for habaneros. So she got a full flat, which is to say, I guess, 48. She got these Better Boy tomatoes. Hungarian hot wax. Okay, I was trying to show her the Hungarian hot wax, and she's like, no, she wants habaneros. I'm like, we want a spicy one. Habanero red extreme, it says. Yikes. I'm not sure what this is. I know she said she got another habanero. Maybe this is the same as this. This is a habanero yellow. I'm gonna assume these are three habaneros. Mortgage lifter. Oh, I had just heard about this. How this guy bred this thing because the whole thing was, he needed to pay off his mortgage, and apparently it did. It was so popular in its day. No, she got a bunch of leeks and some 2 leeks. Oh, so it's all 4 leeks, or rather 16 leeks. Exciting. And then this is Big Beef and Purple Beauty. Okay, so, that's a pepper. I'm going to try and separate it out by pepper and tomato. So that's a tomato. We're going to put mortgage lifter and this one, Better Boy. This is a pepper, I think. Everything else is pepper. Oh, but okay, I'm going to. Right, thank you, ma'am. Okay, there. Okay, so now we have our peppers, habanero, presumably habanero. And then these peppers, the Purple Beauty was the sweet Purple Beauty. I think I've grown that before. I think I tried to grow it a few years ago indoors, and only one took off, and it grew tall, but I was doing it indoors, so it only grew so tall. And then it had one little tomato that was tiny. Excuse me, one little pepper that was tiny. So that's what she got. Okay. So before I continue on, I want to say I did pick up the volunteer. I don't know if it's a tomato or potato. I don't know if it's a tomato or a pepper, and I don't think it would be. I think we did have some other selenium type plant the first year we were here, but it wasn't in that area. It shouldn't have been there. That was another compost area. But I did put it over here by the cucurbits, whichever cucurbit they are. It hasn't gotten watered yet, but here it goes. It's tiny. Okay, right? So my little patch. I do need to clear off more area if I want to eventually have more volunteer plants over here, which I do, but I have to figure out how large I want it to go, because that's a diagonal just marking out where the electric line is, but I don't necessarily have to, well, regardless. And I don't necessarily want too much so close to this, so probably this is probably the line over here for where to go. But I can go out this way, have other little areas, other little patches over here that are volunteer plant things, right? There's another, maybe I think it's like 3, but they were growing under cardboard, and they're really thick. The stems of them are really thick. I'm not sure what it is. I don't think it's a potato. I don't think a potato would be popping up at this point in time. Who knows? So I'm gonna go see about that and see if my mother's okay with me using that or not. But I did move the fig that was in ground. Where was it? It was over there by this little copse of trees. And, it was 2nd year in ground, and every year it comes back up, and it doesn't super do well. It doesn't do really well at all. It doesn't grow super tall. The ones in pots are doing much, much better. So we were talking about, I forget how it came up, but I'm like, do you mind if I move it? She's like, go ahead. So I did. And so I put it here. I had been talking about wanting a tree in the middle between the lilac and the hydrangea. And so I moved the pot, which was great because the pot had already had a space underneath it that was just, nothing growing because of the pot. And I weeded the area. And so I put the fig there, and the fig had really deep roots. And so I think if I really pay a lot of attention to it, this can grow really nice. And then I'll definitely prune it up to be like a shade type tree. And then we can have the lilac be like an under, like a half partial understory, and then this will be, you know, the hydrangea. But for now, I did block that with the pot, and, you know, walkways are forming in my mind, right? And so there was just some errant sticks and some old marigold seedling things. I did see some more gladiolus, but I think if I see more of the thin gladiolus, I'm just going to leave them and take them out maybe next year, okay? Last year, what I had done was I had gotten, I think, 2 packs of Dusty Miller, and I put them under the cherry tree, and they were doing okay. They weren't doing glorious, but they were doing okay. And so I'm like, okay, they're coming back up. I love that they're coming back up. Fantastic. But maybe the shade where I don't water super much is not the place for them to be. And so I moved them because I'm over here like, oh my God, I think all these Artemisia. I think all these Artemisia are dead. I was going to say Armeria. All these Artemisia are dead. They're looking terrible. I'm gonna take them out. I'm gonna replace them with something. And so I came over here to these Artemisia and I scratched them, and they're all green. So they're not dead actually. They all seem like they're rooted in already. I just have to stay on top of it in terms of like the grass, which is a terrible thing to do because it's already a struggle. But I did dig up all of the Dusty Miller and I did put it over here. So initially I had the 2 sagos, one and one over here, but I moved the second one. I think they're both dead, but they're at this point placeholders, right? And so I dug it up, and so now we'll have, this is really going to be a silvery blue white type of garden because we have I'm probably going to have to get more. I think these are Alaska, mind you, but we have the Shasta daisy. What the heck is that? I really don't know what happened to that 5th one because where did you go? Must have been something I did. I don't know what else would have happened. But they did have some at the Pates, which is the nursery we go to. So either I'll grow some more from seed, and this time I'll wait till they're super huge to put them in. So we'll have and it's just not a lot of color, right? So we'll have the Shasta daisy little. Oh, my water was drinking that. Damn. Okay. Anyway, so the Dusty Miller, the Artemisia, the yarrow, the daylily, and if the tick seed comes back, that would be fantastic. I would love that. Let's see. Are we seeing anything here? I'm not seeing anything in here. But yeah, I think this is dead. I think the tick seed is done. It's dead. All right. So I can hoe over here to my heart's content. Fantastic. Oh, I don't want to step on you, friend. Okay. And so, free plants in a sense. My mother had gotten her plants, and I was like, okay, I'm not getting plants today. Because in my heart, I want too much stuff, and I don't have the money for all this stuff right now. But I'm like, wait a minute, I have some coins. Surely I can buy 1 plant. And I went and I got the flower I saw at the end. I got one. I went over there to look over there, and I'm like, as a tray, it looks fantastic. When you start picking up individual ones, some of them have leaves missing. I'm not so sure about the colors individually. I really would have to get like a tray to be like a sweep of color. And so I got one. I'll show that afterwards. But I also got 3 delphiniums. And these delphiniums look so great compared to the last time I got some. And now that I'm about this, they're not going to die, period. So I have these 3 over here. And I'm playing with the order of how I want them in because, okay, that one in the corner might not get as much sun. It might end up getting a lot of sun, actually. The ones on the edge are going to get a lot of sun. Well, again, I don't know how much the pear tree is going to shade things out over here. But then also, this sun over here, there's something really, at the moment, there's something really blocking this over here. So they're going to get big. I think they said the spread is 12 feet wide. These are the magic something. And you see, I've dug the holes. I've taken out weeds. I'm probably going to do a little more before I plant them in for sure. This is the Magic Fountain Delphinium. We get 41 inches high, 12 to 15 inches spacing. So this is about 12 foot. I'm probably going to make it a little wider at the end of it. And so I'm going to plant this up. Yeah. Let's see if these are alive, however. Ma'am. Okay, that's still green. So you're still alive. Please put on some vigor immediately. Okay. And so, my idea was a drift over there, but now I'm like, since I have this little corner here, I have to figure out what I'm going to do with this if that's the case. But at least I'm going to try, hopefully we'll be going back to the paints in the future. But this beautiful specimen, okay, this is the Cineraria. They don't get super tall. It does say sun to part shade, so we're going to trust that. 8 to 18 inches. So right now it's like, maybe like 6. So I could put this over here, or I could put this over there. I could put it in the front as a bedding. That might be nice to interprint it between the dianthus. That might be nice. I still like the idea of it over here. But I like the fact that this has big leaves. So even if it doesn't get super tall, hopefully the leaves spread and it shades out things for competition, right? So I would like to get eventually, if I had 2 flats of that, that would be very easy to plant. My sister said something the other day about like, if I ever got like a heavy plant delivery, if I ever got like a lot of plants, it'd be a lot of work to do. I'm like, no, it wouldn't. She's like, to plant up, like, for me, it wouldn't. I would plant so many things very close. Would it be time consuming? Maybe, but I would be so eager to do it. First, it would be placing everything. Then it'd be, I don't think it's that hard. Also, it's sand, so it's not like I'm digging through clay, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, what a beautiful specimen, this plant. Is this my new personality? I think so. I do. I truly do. And I've never seen this. Well, maybe I haven't really noticed it, but a Cineraria. Okay. And she's just so pretty. And now I need like 20 more to fill this whole side thing. I mean, I was like, I could mount it up. I think I don't need to. Even with the little edge thing, I don't think I need to. I think if it's, or maybe I just do a drift and then like not drift, like a pattern, like a is that a chevron? A chevron type with. Anyway, I'm gonna leave her here. I'm gonna see how I feel about her. If she decides to like not love it here, and then I'm gonna plant her eventually. If she decides to love it here, she's getting planted here. If not, I'll move her around. But I've got Delphinium to plant. I came over here to show the volunteer plants that I'm considering, but also let me show the lemon that apparently is alive. So I was just clearing up some weeds or some old marigolds from the previous season, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, one, I feel how dry this soil is. I've really got to water her. But then I see here, and I really hope that this isn't like the rootstock rooting, but I'm going to hope and assume that it's not, because this looks like a pretty thick, not like it was freshly rooted at the top. So I'm going to assume not. I'm also going to move this. I'm probably just going to put it over there for now. And then I'll just water it that way. Yeah. I also want to say that in preparation for all the starch my mother got, I did clear this bed of the wood, and she moved her cardboard from over here. I think she said that she wants to keep this for herbs. And she was like, oh, we got to get cilantro. I'm like, we have so many cilantros. I'm pretty sure that we have like an old spice container full of cilantro seed. We have a lot, I think. And so she had this onion growing inside. I planted it up a couple days ago. I am going to, I don't know when, because I would like something to replace it immediately after the fact, but I'm going to take out those mums that are over there and put them alongside this edge of the mum border. And then this planter is bulging out in the middle, so I would like to try and do something about that. I don't know what, but we could try. We could push it in and then try and plant something at the base, or just accept that it's like this is how it is. I don't think that's moving, so just keep adding soil and plant the bottom. So that's how it's going to happen. As soon as the volunteer marigolds start popping up, mind you, right? We still got hella seeds. So as soon as the volunteer ones, or if I start propagating them, So you know what? I'm gonna just spread these here because that was another thought of mine, was to start using this soil to propagate things, and then just take it out individually as I need to. But why were they selling an 18 pack of marigolds at Home Depot for $25? I told my mother, knowing that we just went to the Pates where they sell a 4-pack of annuals for $2 something and a flat of them for like $25. That's to say 48 for 25. I'm like, but I didn't say the 48 for 25. I'm like, how much do you think an 18 pack? And she says 25. I'm like, yeah, that's how much they were selling for. But I'm like, I know how easy these are to grow. Granted, I don't have the soil and I didn't do the labor yet. And it is, they are really far along given the time, but still. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. And if these marigolds follow what they did last year, and there's a bunch of seeded sustained marigold back there, it really is just going to be every other couple of days plucking out a marigold, putting it somewhere, plucking out a marigold, putting it somewhere. I mean that we have all these beds. I'm just going to be lining all the beds. Also, where that pallet is, I'm going to bring the other box that was over there on the other side that currently has the dead, or the drying out Bradford pear. That's going to go next to that. Where the pallet is, essentially, it's going to go like this, is the idea at the moment. So all the composting will just fill up those beds, and then things get planted. And so now I have hope that one of my limes, or I only have the one lime, one of the limes, and my mother I think has several, will come back and do well as well. Again, assuming that that's not the rootstock growing. So since we're over here, let me try and scratch this again. Oh my God. This feels like not, but also it feels super rooted in there, so I don't know. And this looks like new thorns, old thorns. You know what? I don't know. The Plecanthrus I put in here, I don't know why it looks wilted. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it needs water. Who knows? Who would think? And I did start to move some of the pine cones from around this. I need this to go crazy, go nuts, go ham. I also kind of want to move the pine cones because I feel like there might be another, oh my gosh, what's the name of this sedum? Autumn Joy sedum. I feel like there might be another one around there, so I do want to move that. I tend to leave the hen bit around. It doesn't bother me, and the pollinators love it. And being that I've mowed so much, and I say removing the, I forget the name of it, but it's like thorny and woolly. It's pretty, but it's like, I don't want it. I remove a lot of plants that the pollinators love. I'm like, I gotta give somewhere. The hen bit is the least I can do. A lot of this is just like old compost and like other stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, the point is, here are some chonkers. Look at the size of these. It's like 3 of them. I don't think these are potatoes. I do need to check though, because they kind of might be. If they are, I'm not gonna move them. I'm not gonna use them. Well, Google says it's potatoes, and so no one's gonna use these. So, hello. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, there goes that. These Cape potatoes. You know what? I don't see any issue not to use these because it's just roots at this point. So, I think I'm gonna try this other one. I think I broke the stem. We have other stemage over here. All right, here's root. Where's the other one? All right. So we have 2 things with the roots. I don't know that this will grow. Maybe there's a little nub in there. We're gonna plant these somewhere. Right? These look like potatoes to me. Let me double check again because Google didn't say potato, but let me check. My mother was like, "Oh, try and put it wherever. It's a freebie." And I was gonna put it in the ground. I'm like, I don't want to pull it from the ground though. I have other things that I want. 2 burst things I don't necessarily want to put in the ground. I don't mind because it's growing close enough to the ground anyway. But then it's going to be a big hole when I pull it up, and it's like then I have to deal with things, maybe boring through it, blah blah blah. So I'm just going to put it in the tree ring. I don't really have a lot planned for the tree ring this year, and so I'm just going to put it there. I have 2 I'm gonna play with where they go. I'm gonna have to Google potatoes real quick, see where potatoes. Well, no, I'm gonna make where. I guess I'm gonna mimic where it was already growing. So. All right, so I planted this. This has a little nubbin here, so I need this nubbin to do the most. First of all, root up and then leaf out. But then also, I found some ginger. I thought I could do the ginger in pots. There's ginger here. So I'm going to put some of these back. And yeah, see if they grow. Yeah. For one of them, everything else is kind of buried because they were all buried to begin with. But I have this one that's just on the surface. We'll see. I think they will grow just because they're still here, right? So the spearmint plugs at the pates were like full sun, and I've generally kept this in parts sun this whole time, and it's not really done. Wow, crazy fantastic. So my idea had been maybe I need to repot it, maybe it's root bound. It's not like I see a bunch of roots popping up. And it always comes back from the winter. It's been like 2 years though. So I'm gonna move it to the sun. I'm gonna give it a dousing though. I'm gonna move it to the sun. Yeah. So I've been digging out the roses. I'm calling them done. No more chances. Even though they're green at the base. I don't see any roots anywhere really. There's this one. No, that wasn't. I thought it was a root. No. These are the old Plecanthrus. Let's see if any part of it looks alive. You know, it might root out from the base. Don't think it will though. But I'm not really pressed about that right now. We're here for the dead roses that I'm calling done. This whole mound area is falling down, and that's okay. Eventually, I will get some of those hard retaining wall pavers. Or something akin. Okay, well, rose. Okay, we're gonna wait to see how these potatoes do or do not. Potatoes and ginger, right? I thought this was only gonna be a, what do you call this? Ornamental bed. Apparently not. Apparently maybe not. Well, I have had herbs in here, so. And then that's the compost. I need to find out a new dumping ground. You know, I'm gonna keep it by the vegetable garden area. Maybe not yet though. I'm gonna wait for it to compact a bit more. The other one is almost good, I imagine. So I'm gonna leave this over here for now. This will get mostly morning sun, and then we'll because it's shaded by the trees right now. Not trees, the stairs. So right now over here it's not getting sun. Over there it would get sun. I'm not gonna have it ever so low. If anything, I have to have it elevated in a pot. So maybe it would go somewhere over there. Maybe I can put it where the pot in which the arborvitae is currently sitting. I don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to do with that.
Okay, that orange thing, each one of those is marking something. That one is waiting for the ones that were there before to come out so that I could
Okay.
mark it.
Okay. Don't turn it off when you're done. Let me know.
Eh?
When you're done, don't turn it off. I need to use it.
Okay.
I want to weed more around that because while immediately there's not a lot of weeds competing, I don't want the height of the other ones around it competing. And also I'm thinking right now I have 3. I can put it like 2 more. I like this. It follows the curve of this. Maybe like 2 more, or even on this side, like 1 and 2 in between, you know, for a lot of height. Oh, yeah, it's looking real nice. I might wait to, I feel like I should do it now because why is this one over here not as big as these over here? I think I'm going to do it now. Do I dig those up and, do I dig everything up and replant it? I might do that. I might dig everything up and replant it. But they're good where they are, right? So change of plants. I started digging them up and I'm like, oh, I could split these. And so I think I'm going to put this where currently the Cineraria is what I'm thinking. Or I could put this next to the Sweet William? I've got to think. I might do this tomorrow. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, why did I put these bricks on their side and not like vertical? Anyway, I'm going to split this one. And when I split the last one, I was trying to split the last one, I did see that there was some grass invasion, which makes sense. It was only in front where there's a lot of grass. So here we go. I was able to divide everything into two. And so on the one hand, I want to put this over here because I think it will look nice. On the other hand, it's still going to get grass invaded. So do I put this over here or do I put this over there? Over there, there's not so much grass invasion in that bed, so I can have a real nice clump or even a couple clumps. I did also divide it into three, so I could just have 3 and 3. Questions? All right, so where this first main line is, it's not so, the grass doesn't reach so much. I think I can stay on top of it very easy comparatively. So that's where it is. I put the 4 divisions that are strongest, and I put 2 on the other side and the inside. Hopefully they all bulk up, and it's just a big mass. I can always get some more, I suppose. I don't know what I'll do once the daffodils start fading. Maybe I'll get more of that in that case. But I don't know why as soon as I planted it, some of them got really floppy. So I'm just trying to like put them up real tight. I think it looks really great though. I think it looks really good. And now I'm thinking I'm going to put this one in this pot over here. I think I would like that. I could get like 2 or 3 more. Have this, but then there's possibly a dahlia that might come up. Probably will come up. I don't know exactly where that is. I think I'm just going to plant this over here. Also, I think those carnations are Grenadin carnations, I think it says. So, yeah. Let's just put this so it's flowing over the edge. If I can. I think I can. I can. Okay. Should be enough. Gorgeous. That's where she was meant to be. She's gorgeous. Questions, do I get more? Do I get other things? She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. So this might be dead in the making. I tried to make a well around it like with my finger and it dug it up, I guess. I think these are fine because immediately after I watered it a little bit later in the afternoon, they've perked up and they've been perked since. Granted, this is a bit smaller and I did this later in the day. Not like it was super much hotter today. Like I think both days were highs of 60s, presumably. I think that was today and yesterday. Anyway, so I'm just going to dig it in a bit deeper and then hope for the best. Hold on. That wasn't even the plant. And this is why that was just something else. This is why we have the sticks. Okay, look at this. See? Okay, I have to make a well somehow with this. Okay, it's a half moon. But all I need is for it to get water to the roots, right? So that's fine. I think we're done over here. I don't want to drown these. I will water this a little bit. I do have to come over here and weed out some things that might be competing for water and whatnot and resources. Besides that, ooh, friend, you don't look the best. You don't look the best right now. So on the one hand, I don't want more mulch right now because the pine cones, I think, have been working fine. And I don't need more mulch for any walkways to be around certain plants. But that requires, what do you call this? Cardboard, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking at redoing that, extending it, making the little walkway wider for now, and getting like another paper, or maybe I'll find another paper or something just to hold the cardboard down. Yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. This is looking cute though, and also those 5 mums are coming out. I could just move them anytime I want to, but then I won't have anything there, and that's depressing. Anyway, I gotta go put this by the Delphiniums. Why am I over here? I can go through the bed. I do see leaves budding up throughout, so I can't wait till you do something. And I already started moving it because, girly, you're annoying me to no end. So this would be a nice spot for a low shrub, a little low-lying shrub, I think. But we're going to workshop it in our heads. I'm going to water it a little. Well, you know, I don't need to water the Gorilla Cart. I think it's full of water, so I'm just going to turn this off right now and then hand water. Now that in theory, I don't need, in theory, of course, because what I want is not theory. In theory, I don't need to do much with these sweet williams, although I'm probably going to get some more at some point and have a little. I would like to border this in sweet william. I'm thinking at the moment, a lot closer than how I had them, like 2 feet apart last year. I'm gonna take that off soon enough. I think that really helped actually. So yeah, maybe I should move it back. Let me not push my luck. What I would like mulch for is for these starts. Some cardboard and some mulch, and I think that'll help these Artemisia along real well. All right, so I had watered it, and then when I came back and weeded some more, there were still some dry spots. So I do have a surplus of water in the gorilla cart. I am going to bring that over here, and a couple up there I'm going to weed a bit more. So, because I am committed to seeing these grow big and strong, yeah, and becoming a permanent staple of the landscape. That's how it's going to be in my mind. It's going to be a couple editions of perennials here and there throughout the season, next coming weeks maybe. Yeah. I'm over here cracking nails and whatnot, all to save what remains of this pink princess primrose, right? Because I'm so sure this is what it is. The modeling of the leaves. That's my primary thing. Were these the same leaves? Anyway, it seems to be one thing that's spread throughout and it's doing a lot. So either it is, and if it's not, I'll just dig it up and replace it with something else. But we went for a triangle last time. We're going for a square this time, and they're vertical. Maybe eventually I will just slab up the sides with some concrete. Yeah. So, square, I'm going to use the rest. Been emptying them out. I'm going to use the rest to keep it on top. Yeah. The way that this powwow coneflower would have to come back for me to even notice where it is. Because, girl, when I tell you I forgot, because I counted it for dead. It was dead, essentially. Like, what was I going to... a burr! Ow! Okay, a burr. All right. Okay. Anyway. Oh, yeah, that's a thorn in there. Hold on. All right, so big-ass square. I don't like the idea of a square here, but for now, what I'll have to do... maybe it's just the bricks. I prefer a soft circle. If I can get something that's like a soft circle eventually, I will. But I would prefer a soft circle. And now we have this empty thing. I suppose that makes for easier walking too. Not that that's a priority necessarily. I don't know. I guess I have to plant something up back here. I don't know. It's for the moment. It's square for the moment. Like I said, I prefer a soft circle. But, what am I to do? One, I'm so ashy all over. Really one. I was like, oh, let me prune up the lemon tree. It's really hard. The stem is literally really hard. Also, those hand primers from the Dollar Tree are not it in terms of like tree. So I had to get the lopper. Cool. Cutting back. At some point, it's like, this looks kind of green. It's not like a solid green core, but the inside looks like faintly green. So like this, it's alive. It's alive. I see growth on the bottom. It's alive on top too. And so I pruned it. I don't know if this is the right thing to prune it. Oh, well, I did. Because I don't want it to leaf out and then suddenly it's like, oh, we have a bunch of crossing stems. Because it was enough anyway with the lemons growing and then being punctured by its own thorns. Like, it was a lot, okay? And so if it for sure starts to leaf out everywhere, probably maybe go back in with a harder pruning. But did water it several times. It was even wet underneath the ground because the whole thing is, let's get this whole thing super saturated. Anyway, it's like faintly green. So the idea is it's still working. It's still alive. Fingers crossed. And I see a bunch of other cuts. I didn't make these cuts. These cuts were already here. So someone else made these cuts. Okay. Ooh, how did I... Friend, how the whole thing fell over. That's wild. That's really wild. Oh, because it's connected. Okay. The whole thing is connected. That makes sense also. Anyway, no, I need like one of these little plastic things to buttress it up on the back. These little plastic orange things. Anyway, anywho, yeah. So I need her to harden up This is a nub. It's a very small nub, so it's a node. And I tried to minimize inwardness. I tried to cut so that things weren't crossing. Like if it decides to grow both ways, I can cut the inside. And we're trying out here. A surprisingly very eventful day. Everything got watered. The rose got watered several times over. I think the well around the rose is working really well. The well around the vegetable patch is working really well for everything. I really thought that I already killed that one plant. It turned out it wasn't even the right plant. It was a different plant. It was a weed, essentially. And the right plant is still in there. So I hope, me personally, I hope it's a pepper. I like a lot of ketchup myself. And my idea is I want to get into trying to make my own ketchup myself to save on the dinner roll, right? But could be a pepper. If everyone has a little vegetable bed, my mother has her raised beds, my sister has her raised beds, I'm going to use the ground and free plants. So, yeah. The Artemisia, all of them apparently are alive. I've really just got to hoe around or hand pluck out the grass, but the grass is growing, so everything's looking thick. These Abelia look like they're maybe rooting, the little prunings, the same next to the hydrangea. So, okay, let's see. Hydrangea button up. Let's see. Is that roots around the base? That might be roots around the base. I don't know. We're gonna push it back in. Is this roots? That might be something with roots. I'm gonna stick it that way. I'm not sure what that is though. I don't know. This looks like it's alive, but I don't know. Okay, Fig. Now I'm gonna baby you to the high heavens, because imagine. Let's sit back so we can imagine together. Imagine. I don't know how tall that gets. If that's a turkey, Fig, or whatever, I don't know how tall it gets. But imagine she's tall. She's like this high, or this high. Ideally, I think I'd like her like a 10-foot, like a 10, no more than 12 foot. I don't know how tall these get. Anyway, she's tall, right? And she's deciduous. So she gets tall. I prune her up. I prune her up to the high heavens because I want a tree. I like the idea of a tree that has a space I can get underneath to pick, as opposed to like, oh, it's full and I'm just grabbing in and I don't know what's inside. No, I want to know what's inside. So I'd probably prune her up tall over time, obviously over time. But on the one side, she's got a lilac. On the other side, she's got a hydrangea. On the other side, an abelia. And then it's a little walkway here. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I can't wait till I can extend that one, because it's going to be a wide walkway, because I still don't know how wide over here is going to be. It's a lot of cardboard I'm going to need. I also have to get cardboard for over there. That's okay though. Imagine. I didn't water her today. I didn't water this except for today. She's already fighting for her life. Fight for your life. I don't want to feed anything else around here. Fight for your life with the water from the sky. I don't know if I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm just going to let the grass come and take it. I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like I should get some type of favor or something to minimize the grass so it doesn't grow this way. Like, be serious. Anyway, she's coming up. I would have, you know what? I'm going to leave this a little space here because I feel like this is going to get big. And, I mean, okay, hold on. Okay, so we've got the lilies there. I don't know where this walkway ends and begins, but here's a little entrance here. Oh, a little entrance. So, okay, so this is my little side entrance. Maybe I have stepping stones that are like half sunk into the thing. Anyway, patch of lilies here. A little walkway over here so I can walk around the sweet shrub to go. I can also get to the fair from here. Ugh, why is she leaning? Well, that's fine. That's fine with me. I hope you decide to lean towards the sun. And if not, I will have to stake you so you do as much. Essentially, it's going to be these cup shape. Everything decided to go bananas. Okay. On the other hand, hold on. I feel like these are roots, right? But they're not so prominent. These are roots. Anyway, we're gonna wait till they're busting out, and then cut, and then prop up, and then I have 3 pear trees. I could then do a triangle for the pear trees. I could put another one next to the other hydrangea. Where would I put this third one? I think this might be too close. Between this and that might be too close. Put one there, and maybe one right there. But now that we've seen this avocado, I'm like avocado over there.